Welcome back to another week of SFHS Today. I'm Cami Ferguson.
And I'm Austin Adler.
In local news, as of November 7th, the bond referendum has passed for ISD 15. Here's Katie Bjork and Maggie Winkles for more information.
The bond passing is obviously a good thing for our district. It does bring additional revenue in for some much needed deferred maintenance and repairs, and hopefully some additions to our schools, from getting rid of portables at SFE and East Bethel School to possibly additions here at the high school.
Very exciting. When you take a look at St. Francis here, this is our biggest bond ever for St. Francis. $80 million, $60,000 bond to improve and enhance all of our school buildings. This is going to be a 2-year project, and this is one of the biggest projects we've had here at St. Francis, and this is going to be outstanding over the next 2 years for our district. It's going to benefit all of our students from elementary all the way through high school. It will be fantastic.
I'm very excited, happy. I think it's going to be a great thing for our students. I think it'll help give the building a facelift and make some many needed improvements to the building. So excited. Now's the tough part, is coming up and making sure that we carry through on all the things that were promised in the bond.
Tonight at the school board meeting, the meeting starts at 7 o'clock on Monday. We're going to talk about the overall process of the bond here. What are the planning stages? How do we talk to all of our school building personnel? How do we put all this together? What's the time frame for it? Which building will be worked on first out here? All this we're going to talk about tonight at our school board to get a better understanding of how we bring this big process together for the next 2 years. I want to say thanks to all the people, all the staff, all the parents, all the stakeholders who passed this, of course, the citizens who voted for it. Thank you. Our job now is to show you how we're going to use the money that you authorize our school district to improve all of our buildings. So thank you to everybody and anybody that was involved to make this happen, to get out the information.
Hey upperclassmen, do any of you have plans for college but need a little help paying for it? Well, financial aid night is tonight from 5:30 to 7:30. Spencer Baldwin and Andrew Gilbert went out and got more information on the topic.
Financial aid night is an awesome night to come if you are a senior and you are looking at going to college. Your parents should come to this event with you as well. It is from 5:30 to 7:30 in the Performing Arts Center, and it is an opportunity for you and your parents to find out about all the different ways that you can pay for your college degree. Also, there will be people there that will help you fill out your FAFSA form if you are interested in doing it right away that night.
What happens during financial aid night?
Financial aid night is a night where students and their families can come in, or community members can come in if they are going to go to college for the next year, and they find out about why they have to fill out the financial aid, why it's important.
What does it take to plan an event like this?
Jeff Olson's coming in at 5:30 and he's going to be presenting for about an hour, but we're also going to have a workshop available after Mr. Olson is done presenting. He's going to finish presenting, and then we're going to have the computer labs open so parents can actually bring their information and actually complete the financial aid application that night. It's also important to make sure that you don't have to have a huge loan payment after you get out of college, and that's one of the biggest things now, is that a lot of students graduate from college, but they have these $400 loan payments that they then have to pay back, and it's like more than a car payment for them. So it's nice for our students to learn about the process and then also find out how they can best help themselves by making sure that they work hard and save enough money for college so they don't have to pay back loans after they're done.
Last Saturday, the 11th, was Veterans Day, and in support of everything veterans do for our country, the Madrigal students and the Wind Ensemble went out on Friday to perform for them in the American Legion.
Speaking of Madrigals, don't they have a show this Thursday through Sunday?
Yes, they do. And hey, aren't you involved with Madrigal Singers?
Yes I am. And aren't you as well?
Indeed I am. You can actually get tickets at seatyourself.biz for $23 for adults and $18 for ISD staff and students. It comes with food and entertainment.
Tanner Kuncher and Ronan Iverson with more information. Also, Madrigals are this week's 5 Minutes of Fame.
Student celebrities everywhere. This is why you should care about 5 Minutes of Fame.
So Madrigals the dinner takes place here in the Bridge Street room. We transform it into a castle with costumes and everything like that. It takes place next Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at 7 o'clock and Sunday at 4 o'clock. The show this year is themed to be called Madrigal Matchmaker. So it's a really fun script about pairing together different personality types and everything, games and lots of fun. The script is awesome.
How long has Madrigal's been a thing?
This is the 37th annual Madrigal Dinner, so it's been around for 37 years.
What is Madrigals?
So Madrigals is a class here at St. Francis. It's a chamber ensemble of 30 singers, 30 really advanced, skilled singers. We are a class that puts together an event called the Madrigal Dinner, which is coming up next week. And basically the class is preparing music and script writing for the dinner next week.
What is Madrigals about?
So Madrigals, this is our 37th year. Every November around just before Thanksgiving and the end of trimester 1, we host this little play / singing dinner where throughout the show we have a little script that we built through the summer, and then we put it to the test, and there's food, there's desserts, there's little jokes, puns. It's really fun.
So guys, our show is the 16th to the 19th of November. Please come. The food's great. The music's awesome. It's a great show. So please come.
In addition, there was a Veterans Day assembly yesterday morning for the entire student body. Bobby Arrett went out to get more information on the topic.
Well, Veterans Day is a day of remembrance of all of our veterans, may they served in war or not served in war. It's November the 11th at 11 o'clock, because that's when the armistice was signed way back. November the 11th at 11 o'clock. So it's a breakfast with a speaker. We have the high school band. High school choir comes over. That's fantastic. It's the first time that the high school has honored the veterans. We put together a really good program. John Creasel, who's a veteran service officer for Anoka County, will be our guest speaker.
They knew the situation was serious, so they called a medevac helicopter to get them in the air and head in our direction as quick as possible. I was in that vehicle, so they had to triage and figure out who needed first aid the most. And so I knew by the sounds I heard I wasn't the most severely injured. I heard very awful sounds that I'll never unhear from Red Lake Falls, Minnesota, and Brian McDonough from Maplewood, Minnesota, both died in a blast. For me, that is absolute rock bottom. That is the lowest I've ever felt in my life. You know, my favorite thing about the military, like I said, is the camaraderie, the brotherhood. These are the best friends you could ever ask for. So
Veterans Day is remember all of our veterans who have served under the armed forces here of the United States.
I have control over is my attitude today, my attitude moving forward.
Held on the IMC yesterday. Bailey Reeds and Emily Nurnberger have more information on it.
We've had the art show here as long as I've been at St. Francis High School, so this would be 15 years. And I know that it took place prior to me starting here at St. Francis High School.
And then what does a week before the art show look like?
I think for most students it's a pretty easy thing unless they're trying to finish up with an artwork that they would like to have in the show. For us as teachers, it's collecting work and finding easels and making sure clay projects are fired. Photography pictures are developed and getting those printed off. So I think it's a little bit more work for us as teachers, just kind of gathering it and getting it ready to go. But it's something we enjoy, and it's kind of cool to see all the students work at the end of the trimester. There are People's Choice, Best of Show, and Honorable Mention Awards. People's Choice is typically on our opening night when students, staff, parents, siblings, whoever comes on opening night, they get a chance to vote for each category. And People's Choice is the individual artwork that receives the most votes, so regardless of category. Then we have Best of Show in each of the individual areas that we teach visual arts classes. So we have Best of Show for photography, graphic design, drawing, painting, and ceramics this try. That typically is the next individual student that receives the most votes in that category. And then we try to do 2 or 3 pieces that get honorable mention in that same category for each of the visual arts classes. So the art show opens tonight on Monday, November 13th, for 3:30 to 6:30 in the IMC. There are voting ballots, refreshments. You can come and look at all the artwork that students have worked really hard on this trimester. It will be on display all next week in the IMC. Usually we take it down on Friday of the end of the week. But if you'd like to come on opening night, get some refreshments and walk around and vote, Monday night's the night.
Also, last Wednesday, the Futures Prep finale class had its annual mock interviews. We got more on the story.
First trimester, 126 seniors in Futures Prep Finale had the opportunity to prepare for mock interviews. Ms. Abraham worked with the community members, getting them in to come in and interview our students. Our students asked questions, and in order to go on their mock interview, they needed to prepare an application, a resume, and a cover letter. These are real-world life experiences our students were able to take away from Futures Prep Finale.
And I'd just like to thank our many community members that have come in to help us with this. They donate their time to help our students prepare for these interviews and conduct the interviews. And I think today we had 16 different community members attend.
Who interviewed you and what did they ask?
Her name was Krista, and she just kind of wanted me to tell her about myself and things that I was doing in college and just my overall personal goals.
Scott McKinnon interviewed me today, and he was asking me what my strong suits and what I'm not so strong in, and I feel like the interview went all right. He said he really liked me at the end of it. Seemed like a fun guy. It was all right.
How well do you think it went?
I think it went pretty well. I'm good under pressure, so
It did pretty good. I was kind of pulling things out of my head, and he said he noticed that, but he liked that because usually people babble on and get them bored, so that was nice.
You should be in Futures Prep Finale.
Absolutely. That's all we have for you this week, Saints. Now stay tuned for RQT and sport.
Have a great week, Saints.
It's the random question thing. Ding.
What's your favorite dance move?
It's called the bend and scoop. It goes like this. Bend and scoop, bend and scoop.
Hey Saints, I'm Peyton Beadle and this is sports. Last Tuesday, Hannah McCann signed to play D2 volleyball with Wyona State to continue her volleyball career. This week, Cole Herpeck spoke to members of the volleyball team as they wrapped up their season last week.
How was your season? It was good. We ended the regular season 17-9 and the section season 18-10. We started off really rough this season with a lot of younger girls playing as our starters, but as the season went on, we started winning our closer games, and we surprised a lot of the teams that we played in scrimmages preseason when we actually played them in season. What do you hope the volleyball team does next year?
Next year I have high hopes for our volleyball program. I think that we have a lot of great returning players like our libero Grace Menji. Emma Guess is going to be killing it along with a couple younger players like Maddie Gully and Julia Parr. I know they'll all be carrying the team, and I have no doubt they'll go pretty far next season.
What do you hope for the girls next year? This year we're losing a lot of seniors, so I hope underclassmen step up to the plate and be leaders.
I'm hoping that we all stay together and play as a team like we did at the end this year, and that some of the younger girls next year step up and be leaders for the seniors that were leaders this year.
The girls hockey team had a game against Minneapolis last Thursday, and JV tied 1-1 and varsity won 3-0. They have another game against Duluth Marshall at home, with JV at 1 and varsity at 3. The boys hockey team has tryouts today through Wednesday and have a game at home this Saturday at 7 a.m. On November 3rd, the football team ended their season with a loss to Andover in the final section game that determined who headed to state. This week, we have a final focus on football in our Athletes of the Week.
I've been playing football since 2nd grade, so like 10 years.
I have known Taylor Aho for about 3 years now when he came in as a freshman into St. Francis High School. He is our quarterback, and as a quarterback, it's a great responsibility to lead the team on and off the field and practice in games when things are going well and maybe when things aren't going so well.
And then how did you feel playing your first varsity game as quarterback?
I was pretty overwhelmed at first, but then once I got in the game, I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Before games, I'm usually pretty nervous, and then once the game starts, I usually calm down a lot.
Well, we have indie time where he works on individual skills. He has group time where he's working with running backs on handoffs, wide receivers on passing sets and situations. He watches film, not only on the opponent that we have coming up, but also on the film from the previous game and trying to get better.
Before games, we all go to Subway, and then we take naps, and then we do our prayer before the game.
You know, he's really taken the quarterback's role and became a leader for our team, our football team. He has been a leader on and off the field, in the locker room, on the practice field. He commands the huddle very well, and he's starting to use his athletic ability more and more, getting outside the pocket, throwing on the run, just leading our team and be a quality individual.
And then what are you looking forward to for next year?
State.
How long have you been playing football?
Since 6th grade, so about 7 years.
I've coached TJ now for 2 years.
You're nervous, and then once the first play goes off, you start to lock it in and focus.
TJ comes to practice every day, prepared. He works extremely hard. He's one of the hardest working players we have on the team. Always willing to do whatever we ask. He studies his plays. He knows what he's supposed to do. Kind of a role model through his actions more than his words, but he's always out there giving 100%.
Do you have any pregame rituals?
Yeah, we just do our normal pregame warm-up, and then we have our prayer right before the game.
I think TJ on the field contributes by giving everything he's got every play. He's not the biggest fullback in the league. He might actually be one of the smaller fullbacks in the league, but he's out there blocking guys weighing 30, 40 pounds more than he does. He never hesitates to jump in there and do what we need him to do. But more than just his play on the field, I think his contribution to the team is that work ethic. He's somebody the younger kids can look at and see what it takes to be successful at the varsity level. And hopefully some of the younger kids are taking note because he'll be a big loss for our program.
Boys basketball has open gym Monday through Wednesday, 5:30 to 7 p.m. and had a parents meeting last night and a players meeting tomorrow at 2:35 after school. Girls basketball tryouts started yesterday, finishing today in the main gym after school, 2:45 to 4:45. Finally, the girls gymnastics team started their season off yesterday at the middle school. Before we go, there's another sports at SFHS that is performing well. The bowling team, which is running through community education, has not lost a match yet. Sam Globinski and Jake Hansen spoke with Ryan Killinen and Ryan Fraschetti about their bowling season this year as they get ready for the state tournament.
I've been bowling since I was 4 years old, so 13 years now.
I've been bowling for 3 years competitively. Otherwise, I've been bowling my whole life, just not competitively. Right now, we've won all of our matches. We've tied once, and that's the first time tying within the past 2 years. The competition, it's between, in our conference right now, we have Princeton, Cambridge I Sandy, because they're combined, Rush City.
The state competition is December 2nd at Flattery's Bowling Alley, and hopefully we will do well.
Every week we play 2 matches, and you face one school in the first match and another school in the next match. And it's a team game. Like, you may not think of bowling as a team sport, but you have 5 people that you have playing at a time, unless you want to sub in. So the person that bowls the first frame, they also bowl the 6th frame. So one person bowls 2 frames. That's why you have 5 people, since there's 10 frames. You get a total of 5 games in one match, and the team that wins 3 out of the 5 games wins the match.
The past few years we've won our conference tournament and went on to state, but we haven't been able to win state. So hopefully this year we will be able to win state and bring home a championship.
And that's it for sports. Have a great week, Saints.